So you just went out and bought some two-color plastic, and you have these great expectations of what's going to happen with this. We'll try to get you as close as possible to your expectations, and I'll explain what you have to do to get there. Two-color plastics are basically split down the middle, with the color being on one side and the other. As your printer draws the plastic in, it will print a specific color on one side and a specific color on the other side. And I set this model up specifically to do that. The plastic was extruding yellow and blue, so we had a nice transition between the two of them. This was printed in vase mode, which gives you a nice, smooth printer movement. Kept everything nice and happy. Good results. Except, your model doesn't look like this. You're not going to be printing business cards, right? You're going to try to print something. Maybe if you stick with something safe, you print a vase. Split your colors down the middle like that. Once again, this is in vase mode, a nice smooth transition up. And you can see there's a mixing zone in the middle here. And that's going to be most likely facing you. So anything that faces you has a 50-50 shot of printing either. This happens to be a blue and purple, or yellow and purple. So this is your mix zone here. And that's usually when you get these artifacts, because the printer has no control of what it's doing. It's just taking this two-color filament and dragging along. Whatever happens, whatever color happens to come out most, that's what you're going to get. Was this a successful print? I think it looks good. Let's move on to a different shape here. Again, we have vase mode. Nice color defined. Then you have the mixing zone in the middle, which should give you almost a green appearance, because you're doing a 50-50 blue and yellow here. This is actually more predominant on this side. It looks more yellow on this side here. So, that's your results. You have a nice sharp transition. The plastic was printing, changed direction, started printing again. You have this intermediate area, which is facing you. So, what happens when you try to print a model like this, which is what you had in mind? Well, yeah, you're going to have your purple surface here, you're going to have your yellow surface here, and you're going to have that mix zone in the middle. Except when you look on your model, this direction is coming at you, so now you're dealing with a green on this edge. So you went from your blue to a green. Maybe you're going to get some yellow in here depending on the angle. And unfortunately, what's going to happen is it's going to mix in the nozzle, and you're not going to get very good results, just because of the angle changes and also the retraction on your printer, which is going to pull some plastic back up in the nozzle and then start pushing it out again. As it pulls in and out, you're going to get a mixing occurring in the nozzle. Slight, yes, but there will be a slight mixing in there, and that will show up on your print. So if you're looking at this model like this, you're going to have some very interesting results, just because of all of the angles going on. If you want, I could print something like this and show you what it's going to look like, but I'll just say it's not going to be all that great. Here's a hexagon shape. We have our nice defined color here. You have a nice defined color here. You have your mix area. This again, printed in vase mode, no retraction. Once you get that retraction, you have a little mixing. So how will happen is as it starts extruding your layer change, you'll have some color drift into the surface wherever it happens to occur your layer change. So keep that in mind. What else do we got to say here? I don't know. There is some other filaments, like this is a silk 2-color change. This was blue predominantly and green, and it gives you a result that looks like this. And you can see this is your mix zone where, you got a 50-50 shot at either blue or green in this case. So, depending on where you're looking on your model, you're either going to get that transition area or you're going to get your nice defined colors. So I just wanted to give you guys a look at what you can expect with 2-color printing. Probably not what you wanted to hear, but that's the reality of it. You want to use always a wide nozzle. This is 0.8 in this machine. I just ordered some 1 millimeter or 1.0 nozzles so that I could actually do something like this and have a thicker wall vase mode print. Spiralized, it's called in Cura. So I'll have some better results because I won't have a mixing zone. If you try to push this stuff through a 0.4 nozzle, which it is capable of doing, what then might occur is actually as it's trying to push through that small hole, you're going from 1.75 to 0.4. Just that turbulence of getting the plastic pushed out that hole is going to do some color mixing also. So keep all those things in mind. It's a nice plastic, but definitely takes some practice, experience to get the results you want, unless you're going to print some nice business cards. This was a little test I did with a higher layer, and actually you could see this is what retraction does for you. It gives you a slight mixing. So just keep everything in mind when you're printing with this. It's definitely different. I'm going to send these files off to the factory so that they could play with it, learn, experience the same things you are. And maybe things will get better. They're actually coming out with 3-color plastic now, which I don't know. I don't know how that's going to come out. But I'm going to get a sample roll and we'll see. Take care. Happy printing. Hope I didn't pop your little bubble.